Hustle in the lobby, bright lights, reflections. Screen flickers, tales of crime and affection. Baristas mix caffeine with tales of deception. Lawyers joke and shadows plot their redemption. Case files like popcorn scatter on the floor. Jury's out in line, folks begging for more. Quirky loopholes twist through every door. Paparazzi flash for the courtroom encore. Legal Shenanigans Theater, baby, where justice laughs. Crime and humor dance, baby, a curious path. Grab your ticket, honey, let the gavel smash. In the flood of laughter, see the road splash. Scoundrels with a smile, defense on their lips.
That's it. I'm putting an album out of all of my fake created songs made by me for me.
It's that I hum along and sing along every time.
Okay, I
It's
was
very
wondering, I was
catchy.
like, Mo, don't be so egotistical. But I'm like, it's catchy. AI and me are doing pretty good until Skynet happens.
Yeah. Yeah, until Skynet catches up, and then we're all just gonna die.
Listen, I tell my toaster thank you every time it does something. I'd start being kind to your appliances. Now my computer's going to send me to a camp of any sort because of what I tell it all the time.
Yeah, like I would like to get more dumb appliances. I don't want smart ones. I want more dumber. Like if I could get my hands on like a 1950s refrigerator, I
Oh
would
my
definitely
gosh.
have that.
Or one of those like cast iron 9,000-pound multi-stoves. Like
Yeah.
they had like a bread drawer and like a goulash drawer and I don't know, a casserole bin.
Yeah,
I
and a
want one so
drawer
bad,
for
Mr.
Hansel and
Mose.
Gretel.
Hey, you gotta have options. Mr. Mo is like, we are not buying a cast iron stove just because you think it's cool. And I was like, have you met me? He's like, how would it work? I was like, that's a you problem. I buy the weird thing and you figure out how to work it.
Yeah, like that older thing, like a lot of stuff. So like I bought this stupid fan, like it's not a stupid fan, it's actually really cool. Like, but it's like a desk fan or like a little room fan. Like it's not huge. It looks like it's vintage though. Like and
Oh,
it's heavy. Like it's actually made out of like actual, I don't know if it's iron or steel, but it's definitely metal and it's not thin by any stretch. But like it's so cool. It's like this looks old. Like I know it's a silly fan, but it's so cool because it
I
looks
know.
vintage.
The problem is then I want to start dressing in like houseware and living on martinis and barbiturates. I just take the whole retro thing much too far. But I do think they had a point. Like all the women were just soused to the gills most of the time. Pregnant, not pregnant, doesn't matter. You started the day with a pill to wake you up. You ended the day with a pill to make you go to sleep, washed down with a martini, and no one gave two craps. No one came up to you and said, do you know that those could cause blankety blank? No, they're like, oh, Virginia Slims. I do Pall Malls. How about yourself?
Yeah, like, but it's funny though because it's really not that different. Like today, it's Xanax now.
Fair point. My doctor just says I can't have any.
Yeah,
That's
but
why I'm really pissed off.
yeah, and it sounds like our little friend today is probably one of the Zanny moms. So
Yeah. So I have some questions about Lori Vallow Daybell enchiladas because in a weird and sick, like just trying to get into the mind of Lori, I looked at some cookbooks, like LDS cookbooks. I have some questions about sort of what is going on in cooking. There's a lot of jello, like
well,
gelatin salads, like fluff and marshmallows and gelatin for reasons I cannot figure out. I thought
so
we had gotten out of this,
in a
you
completely
know.
unironic way that I was talking about vintage things and from the 50s and 60s. They did a lot of that back then too. Maybe there's
Yes,
a
but
correlation to.
we're in 2025. I mean, they got rid of polygamy. You think they'd move out of gelatin-based desserts.
Yeah, but have they really gotten rid of polygamy? I mean,
Well, fair point. Fair point. Although if you get stuck with two Loris, at that point, do you just switch religions and become a priest?
I think if you got stuck with two Loris, then like you might have like potentially won the lottery because what they would probably end up doing is just unaliving each other and not you. So you might you might be
So
onto something.
what ideally as as a polygamist man you want is two Loris and then a sane one that you can get when the two Loris take each other out. You
Yeah,
have
like
someone and you don't ever have to date again.
yeah, it's like a little life insurance policy, if you will. You're
I
you're playing
I
the
will
hot does crazy scale against each other.
Yeah, but would Mr. Mo survive another crazy and then would I be the nice one? See, here's what, because 'cause I'm kinda used to Mr. Mo,
Mhm.
like competition, so would I get him just too much crazier people than me, so I start to look sane?
I mean, if the end goal, right, is to like, if you're like, I want him to appreciate me more than, yeah, you definitely need to go
Yes!
with crazier.
That's it. We're going recruiting at the Waffle House at 3 AM, bringing
Yeah,
back 2 losers to make me feel better.
Waffle House, Walmart. I mean,
This is your
there's,
Waffle House wife, and here's your Walmart wife.
and then there's me, honey.
I'm I'm from Amazon.
I'm the Temu version.
I'm the Target one.
Yeah, because Target is way more classy than Walmart and Waffle House. It is.
Yeah. To be fair, like, if I win the lottery, there will be subtle signs. I will be grocery shopping at Target.
Yeah, and
'Cause
definitely,
their
definitely
food
don't move up to
prices
Whole Foods though.
for the love of Cheetos, I'm like, "Target, what the hell? Your great Target value brand is more expensive than the actual name brand. You have seemed to misunderstood the assignment here."
Yeah, there are some things like that with like quote unquote store brands and stuff that like they do seem some of it seems to be more expensive. But like I know we're already off on a tangent here, but like
Us on a
you
tangent?
you do have to be careful though with some store brands because uh like with cheeses and stuff, like you do have to be a little careful and like watch because like some of the store brands actually put like fillers and stuff in it. It's
Yeah.
not just like a straight up substitute. So like you do have to be a little careful with that stuff. For all your cheese advice, you can ask me.
Karen, not yet. I will say that it has been a real stormy last week, and with Mr. Mo getting off retirement, I have not yet been to the post office. So if you sent something, it's there. I didn't get there this week, so I will get there. And thank you so much. I just honestly haven't gotten anywhere this week except for physical therapy and the dentist. Um, don't be peanut butter and jealous, y'all, of my glamorous life.
Yeah, well, I mean, the dentist and physical therapy could be one and the same, depending on what you got going on.
Oh my. Okay, if there is anyone in the current here and now and or replay crew that is a dental hygienist, look, I'm not gonna make fun of you, but seriously, why would you dedicate your life to listening to like, and then trying to talk to people with something hooked in their mouth? Like, "Oh, what are you doing?" "Oh, I see. Oh, yeah, no, I'm the one that's currently hooking into your mouth. I don't know why I'm asking you a question."
Yeah, I honestly think that dental hygienists are like what is that, masochists or whatever? They like inflicting pain upon other people.
That would
I
be
think that's what they
sadist.
are.
Masochists are people that think that like pain or
Oh,
like
well,
giving
what's the one that
themselves
likes to
pain.
inflict pain on other people? A
That's a
sadist?
sadist.
Okay,
Yeah.
they're all sadists then. Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't get the noise. I don't get the noise. Look, I just started getting my nails done again, and I realized that they use that drill too, and I'm like, "Why?"
Yeah. I I don't understand why. I mean, I'm glad people choose that profession, but I do have questions.
Yeah, look, and teeth gross me out too. Like, I'd never have been a dental hygienist in the first place, but also teeth freak me out. But let's get on to other things that freak me out, like the Mighty Morphin Power Mormon on well, we're gonna start with a little bit of direct just to hear how a normal lawyer talks, because 'cause we're gonna have 15 minutes of, I think, intense cross-examination about enchiladas.
Ooh. From
Yeah, I slept through them. So you guys, I thought I had now, you know how when normal things happen and most people don't jump to insane conclusions? Not so much Mo. So yesterday, I don't take naps. So I must have just taken a full, like, unconscious nap from 4 to 9 p.m. last night. But I thought that I had slept through the entire evening. So I was like, crap, I need to set up my, legal shenanigans stream because I sucked at life this week and didn't do it on Wednesday like I'm supposed to. So I'm doing that and it wouldn't let me go to or to today or what I thought was today, Saturday. And I was like, why won't you, damn you? And my phone was lying to me too, saying Friday. So I went, of course, to search out my tech support, Mr. Mo, and he's like, yeah, that's because it's still Friday." And I was like, "Well, so I haven't angered God, and I haven't been sent back in a Groundhog's Day loop to, deal with this particular day of Karen Reed's trial." And he's
yeah.
like, "So you actually had that entire thought and still went out to find me?" And I was like, "Well, I also figured while I was in Groundhog's Day, I might as well test out some theories."
Yeah.
He's like, "That isn't as comforting as you think it is."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
"Well."
And I see that JK Buck is saying like there was some very bad storms in Indiana and Kentucky. I know Kentucky got
Yes.
hit real hard, and like I know there's a bunch of fatalities and stuff that occurred from
Yeah.
storms. Like it was not
So, as much as
great.
I joke, I do hope that everyone is, able to regroup and has insurance and, regardless of what you think about current political, maybe the change in leadership will mean that resources get there quicker. I don't
Yeah.
know. We haven't got the Epstein list, but who knows? Maybe they'll be able to get FEMA out.
Yeah. Well, they denied it for the big storms that were in Arkansas a few weeks ago, so my hope's not high, but
Well, what's great about, America for the most part is that regardless of if the government shows up or not, people do.
people will, yeah.
Yeah.
That
So
is for sure.
definitely. And I know we're not out of the weather or out of the woods as far as weather.
Yeah.
So be safe, be careful, listen to those sirens, don't ignore them. Do
Yeah.
all of the mom things.
Yeah, don't be a country person and go and sticking your head out the door and go like, "Look, Cletus, there's a tornado." I mean, don't do that. I
Yeah,
mean,
unless you got a really good shot. I mean, if Jim Bob is out there on the four-wheeler and with a, Roman candle right as the twister's coming in, don't you go inside. Keep filming that shit. We need it for my streams.
yeah, like I mean, there are, circumstances when it is okay. But like but yes, be careful, don't do that. I've spent a large majority of my life in the Midwest and I've seen and been a part of a lot of storms, including some tornadoes, and it's like it's not worth it. It
No,
just
just stay where
be
you're
careful.
safe. There look, there are YouTube channels abounding of weirdos who go out in their cars or their car tanks.
Oh
This
yeah, the Dominator. I know who you're talking about specifically.
also the Dominator.
Because he's gonna dominate the weather.
No, it sounds
Mm.
like an adult, marital aid.
I mean, It kind of is, if we're just being honest
To
here.
be fair, if I got to drive the Dominator into a tornado, that would be a marital aid.
That would probably be a lot of aids for a lot of things. Like, yeah, because that would
Like
be
my
kind of
fear of
awesome just to be.
thunderstorms, my badassness. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a
All right,
solution for a
let's
lot of problems.
actually get into this. In theory. I always worry like, "Oh my gosh, there's only 15 minutes of cross," and then I'm like, "Oh, wait, it's us."
Yeah, but there's like, 2.5 hours of us just like talking about whatever pops into our head.
So, we are going to listen to a little bit of a real lawyer talking before we get into Lori's interrogation of her enchiladas, which does sound a little gross, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Phoenix and confront anyone in your family about this or talk to them about it?
Yes. After I talked to Kay, then I called my mom and asked her if she knew that.
This poor schmuck. I feel so bad for this man. I mean, let's be real. When your family sides with Lori Vallow for a good part of the kids being missing, like, Lori knows what she's doing, and you're the one a-hole who's there like, this heifer's crazy, and she might be doing my other brother allegedly in Minecraft. It was just a weirdly close relationship.
Yeah, like I saw his face before you hit play, but I had like looked down for a second, but when he started talking, I'm like, is that a teenager on the stand? Like his voice sounds very strange for being an older gentleman.
Well, I mean, you've gotta realize he is well, first of all, I think his collar's buttoned either wrongly or he's just got it mussed up. But he was the one normal one in the Cox family. I mean, like if any one of us felt like aliens in in their family, this dude has to feel like an alien. Like, wait a minute, my sister thinks she's a translated being. My brother decided to unalive for her, and then my mom and sister think that she's doing great. Yep, it's gonna be a weird Thanksgiving.
I mean, anything at I mean anything at the good old Cox table.
Oh my god. And the sad thing is if she had not unalived anyone, she just had these crazy beliefs, I would watch the hell out of a TLC show like Meet the Daybells. He's
Yeah.
spooky, she's quacky, and they're bringing their, end of times dreams to life.
Yeah.
I would have
It's
watched the hell out of that.
yeah, like I mean, how many dumpster fires like on TLC, like legitimately, how many dumpster fire shows have like those people have had that like their lives turn out to be like just a complete like just unmitigated disaster. You have like the Duggars.
Yeah.
You have
Oh, the
that what
Duggars.
8 in Kate plus 8 or whatever,
Kate
John and
okay,
Kate
but
plus 8.
yeah, honestly, who didn't clock her as a mega thunder cow, like, from the jump? Like, who is shocked that Kate was a little bit overbearing, type A, and hysterically weird, and rigid? I mean, who didn't clock that from the jump? I love when people are like, "Well, that's
Yeah, didn't see
shocking."
it coming.
I'm like, when Honey Boo Boo, when Mama June, like, exploded into degeneracy and I think heroin addict or addiction, like, I was not, like, shocked. I was not like, "Oh my gosh, who would have thunk?" I was like, give people with bad choices and bad, a history of bad decision making a bunch of money. This is probably gonna end badly.
Yeah.
Although I will say, hand in my most genuine way, I do hope that Honey Boo Boo she seems like she's going to college do nursing, so I actually hope that she turns out okay. Like, of
Yeah.
all the ones to root for, I'm like, "Come on, Honey Boo Boo, you got this."
Come on, boo boo. Do you want a picnic basket?
Oh, good lord. Back to this man's
Yeah.
horrible family drama, not mine.
Charles is dead. And she said, yes. And I said, what's going on? And she said, you tell me what's going on. And at that point, I thought that was bizarre that she would say that. So I said, well, we need to sit down and talk. And she said, yes, we do. And so me and Zach got in the car and drove back to Phoenix.
Did you go to your mom's house?
Yes, I did.
Did that conversation go well?
No.
Yeah, driving to your mom's house to confront your crazy ass sister, your even crazier brother, and the mom and sister who are fully on board with whatever nonsense, all while talking about felony unalivement. Yeah. Although, I mean, next time you have to meet your family, sir, if you could invite me as a +1, I will say, okay, I will try to say nothing, but my face is going to say all the things. Also, can I bring popcorn?
Yeah, and a dumb question real quick. Where are they driving from?
I don't know.
Okay. It's
No.
like tennis for unathletic people. And anybody who plays pickleball is going to like hate that I just said that, but that's kind of what I
Okay.
think of it.
Well, my mom is convinced that I could just, that pickleball would be a good physical therapy. And God love her. I love my mom, but and to be fair to her, to be completely fair to my mother and my family, I have really masked how like much this has affected me. But I'm like, Mom, I couldn't even play like foosball. So, like I injure myself going upstairs. I Biden myself upstairs more than Biden does. So how about we just find me like one of them escalators that goes on my stairs and call that a sport?
Yeah, like I legitimately think that pickleball is somewhere between like an actual like full-size tennis court and ping pong or table
Yeah, I
tennis,
think it's
whatever you
like
call it.
a quarter of a court. Look, it looks really fun, and I know it's a great way to remain active and, join social groups. See, that's where my mom was like, "You could make friends." I was like, "In real life?
Yeah, but
Are
see,
you a new hire, Mom?"
I think it's a little disingenuous though, because unless they're hitting actual pickles around, then it's not really pickleball.
Yeah, I had
So,
hoped that there would be some sort of pickle involved. I was like, "So do you eat pickles at the end? Like, what's going?" And she's like, "No, that's just what they call it."
yeah, instead of like, when we were kids, you would get orange slices. You get pickles. You have to suck on a pickle instead of like an orange slice.
Ew.
And that sounds terrible now that I'm thinking about it about you. You have to suck on a pickle. That is not.
Although I can see a new way to market pickleball to the somewhat degenerate. In
Yeah.
between matches, someone has to suck down a full gherkin.
Sweet gherkin.
You can decide spicy or sweet. I'm not gonna look, it's 2025. I'm not gonna make you choose. If you want both, sweethearts, you can have most degenerate pickleball.
I'm sure there's a market for it. I mean, it is
I'm sure it's
2025.
already on the hub somewhere.
So now.
Oh, okay. Texas Roadhouse and fried pickles. Yes. Look, and it's weird because I don't like real pickles, but fried pickles are my jam.
Like, wait, you don't like pickles?
No.
They're like, do you like cucumbers?
Ew. No.
Really?
Now, I do like pickled juice.
Okay.
Again, I'm a
I
weird
mean,
person. It's texture of the pickles. They're slimy
okay. Okay.
and they're all mushy.
I can see what you're saying. Well, maybe mushy pickles. I don't think I've ever had a
Well,
mushy pickle.
so like once you get the rind off of it or you eat the skin, it's all mushy and then you feel the seeds like sploderating out and it just
Oh, the
look.
cucumber. I gotcha. I thought you were talking about pickle. Like, yeah, I could see a cucumber like that. But, and I guess I
And
could
cucumbers have
see.
this really weird bitter taste to me.
Really?
Like,
Huh.
yeah, well, not to mention there was a time in the late 90s, early aughts, and then back in the 2016 where every bougie place wants to put cucumbers in their water. And I'm like, ew, you made the entire water taste green. Thank you. But I'm not a plant.
Yeah, like I was never into the whole like cucumber flavored water and stuff like that. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
was like, why'd
I can
you
see it.
have Yeah, but I am a weirdo. Like I said, my mom was surprised I ever, found a food I like because I'm just so picky. So
Yeah, well, I can go like off on weird tangents because like I have started eating a lot of bison lately, and
nope.
I'm unofficially officially the spokesman of bison meat. I tell
Now
everybody about it. It's kind
I
of
love
annoying.
grilled zucchini. I love sautéed zucchini. I don't eat it raw very much, but I do like zucchini. It's one of the
Uh,
few vegetables I'll eat without like crying.
too too much zucchini will like upset my stomach. It's weird. But also cauliflower. Can't eat cauliflower either because A, it tastes gross, but B, it feels like somebody has put a rock in my stomach.
So they are saying that we weren't meant to eat so many whatever. I know it's centrifugalist or what. Look, it's a word I can't say right now. Um, we're not supposed to eat as many of those kind of vegetables because they're very hard for our body to digest, which
Yeah.
I always secretly knew that broccoli was bad for you. I'm just kidding. Broccoli's great if you put it in cheese sauce, but and bacon on top. But by the end, aren't you really just having a baconator French fry?
I mean, kinda.
Kinda. If God had
But
wanted me to eat more broccoli, he would have made it taste like bacon. In fact, Elon, screw Neuralink. Make food that's supposed to be good for you taste like bacon. Really help the. Okay, except for some population of the world, you're going to have to make it taste like chicken, but I'm okay with the bacon.
eh, yeah. You maybe you can like have a DIY machine where you can just like pick what it wanted. Like I want
That
broccoli to
or just
taste
put
like
our food
whatever.
into pills so I won't forget it. That would be awesome.
Well, that's an option.
Vale, we were promised by the Jetsons either A, jetpacks, B, Rosie, the automated not going to kill you, but super awesome with a little bit of sass, maid slash nanny.
Yeah.
And well, and basically, I don't know what uh, Jane did all day other than shop, but I was sold this as my life. And now I
Yeah.
don't have a jetpack. I don't have a flying car. I don't have anything but a Roomba. So I would like food in pill form.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We were promised a lot of things from movies in our childhood and TV shows and that
Yes,
we have not yet received. And it is a little bit disappointing. I think we're falling behind as a society.
I blame the boomers. I really do.
It's
They
always the
didn't do
boomers.
enough with technology.
Yeah, they were booming too much. They were just
That being said, I'm the biggest boomer I know, so I can't really.
yeah, I'm a little old timey too, so it's like I get it.
Um, this create a break in your relationship with your mom?
Yes.
Did you stick up for Charles?
Yes.
Did sticking up for Charles create issues between you and most of your family?
Yes.
Did you continue to stick up for Charles even with that happening?
Yes.
Sir, this was the moment where you could have like taken yourself out of every family group chat, told them, "See you deuces, here's the door." You could have changed your name and been free of this and not even have to testify. But I see you chose the maintain peace and continue to be a family choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could have just took the position that Charles was in charge.
If Charles had been in charge, none of this ish would have happened.
Exactly.
Lori would have been in a nice room with a self hug jacket, and we would have all been a better place.
Yeah, she'd been making weird jello desserts and I don't know. I can't think of
Yeah,
any other stereotypes
Chad
from the
would be trying to
50s.
pick up other women, telling them that they had been married in a past life, and he would have never found the one chick that would have fallen for this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that Lori is like, to me at least, like Lori's not like attractive, but she is definitely like above Chad's weight, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like, what kind of game was that guy spitting to?
Well, I mean, I guess to a certain woman, hey, babe, I don't know if you know this, but God told me that we were together in past lives. We even served the real Jesus. And you and I are going to do great things for the Lord.
Does that
It
work?
well, it worked for Lori because that's basically how he got her. He's like, I don't know if you know this, but we've been married many times in past lives.
Hmm. Interesting.
Now, the odds that you have, yes, been married in past lives, but you would continue to choose Chad, just this is where you lose me. Like you have a choice every life and you go, the thumb guy, that's the guy. That no, he doesn't look like he doesn't have a chin. His face goes directly to his neck. It melts my butter. Give me that guy.
I mean, I
Every
guess
time.
there's a thing for everyone, I suppose. But it
Suppose
just, yeah, it seems kind of weird. A reading of Chad's text to Lori.
I will have to see if there's anything copyright or infringement, but I could do readings of Chad's book, heavily drinking. But I could do that. I mean,
As
I'm always game to learn about, the end times happening
as
in
as long as you
Missouri.
add commentary, it should be fine. Which, I mean, there's no
I mean, with
obvious
Chad's book,
problem there.
I think I can find some. I just have to see if they're even still being sold because I'm guessing Idaho has a law about, unalivers not profiting. So they
Yeah,
might have taken off his book, but I'm sure that, somewhere in the bowels of the internet, someone has his books.
Wayback Machine, probably.
Oh my
Or
gosh, yes.
there's all kinds of stuff on there, like that's not even like websites that you can find. Like the Internet
W-
Archive has tons of stuff on there you can find.
You know, I have been looking at things because I don't want to do a drinking grift stream mostly because like one wine cooler and I'm like, guys, okay, so I was in middle school and this is totally embarrassing. So I probably shouldn't be telling the entire internet. So drinking ones are off, but ones where I dress up as Sarah Boone and read all of her letters or drink all of Chad Date or not drink, ew. I read, drink, and read all of Chad Daybell's books. I'm good with that one.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not drinking anything that Chad Daybell puts beside me because I don't know, but he looks like he might Cosby me.
I mean, or it may be some weird concoction to unalive in
Slash
Minecraft.
purify my soul. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real. One taste of Mo's verbal repartee, he's marking me triple super duper dark. Like I'm not getting out of there. They're like Satan. And I'm like, oh, sweethearts, don't try me.
Yeah.
You're like, yes, test me with holy water. Like I have way too much fun tricking a cult until they got all, murdery.
Well,
That's where I know the bit's gone too far. Like, oh, you got real weapons. You guys, this has all been a joke. Do you not know sarcasm?
yeah. But the weapons are all suitcases.
By the power of Samsonite and the fact that she's mentally competent and sober enough to not get inside to play hide and seek, she prevailed.
Yeah. That would be a hilarious cult, the suitcase cult. It's out there. I know it has to
Yes,
be.
you know it is. The Saints of Samsonite.
After you had that argument with your mom, what did you do?
Me and Zach left her house and we were staying at Summer's house, my sister, who was away on vacation. And we were staying at her house and we went back to her house. We were watching her dog.
You were supposed to leave the next morning, Sunday, to go back to Wichita. Did you return back home?
Yes, we did.
Did your son go with you this time?
Yes, he did.
After this whole incident happened, did you not talk with your family for a long time?
Yes.
Did it cause a lot of friction in your family?
Yes.
Have you?
Speaking of friction, Chad Daybell's text. Okay, those are smexy text. Now, I read all of those in a sober state, and all I can think is, dear God, friction. Because whenever they romanticated, they were always clothed. And the Lori or Elena would have leggings on, and I can't remember what asshole name Chad gave himself. I think it was like Chuck or something. But he'd have on like sweatpants and his temple garments on too. And I think Elena would have her temple garments on because she was godly. So anyway, temple garments are like long underwear that you wear underneath your clothing for extra godliness. I don't know why. I'm not LDS. I'm not mocking it. I'm just saying that devout LDS wear them as a sign of their faith.
So
So you would now have 4 sets of clothing on your bits and pieces as you're vigorously dry humping, and then this is supposed to be smexual? 'Cause
I mean, wouldn't that get a little warm? Like, I'm just saying, like, if you're putting in the effort, you know what I mean? It's just like if you're wearing that much stuff, it's gonna get hot. Like real
yeah, I
hot.
mean, all I'm thinking is you are gonna have such chub rub. Like, ladies in the chat understand what I'm saying. If you wear a skirt and you're not a size 0, there is no way your thighs are not going to pass by each other. Thereby chub rub, and why God invented bicycle shorts. To be worn under skirts.
Yeah.
My daughters are like, "Oh, we're gonna get stuff for a cruise." And I was like, "Oh, that's great." They're like, "We have shorts and a top." I was like, "That's a crop top and biker shorts. That's like a quarter of a full outfit. Am I being charged less?"
I mean, the thing that I'm finding actually humorous about this is when you're saying chub rub, like all I can think of is like dry humping, which is like the national or the state, I guess, sport of the Midwest. So like
Fair
that's
point.
all I can think of is when you're saying chub rub, that's all I'm thinking.
And
It's
this
like,
poor guy, I think he is devout LDS, and you know, he's dealing with all this from his family, can't even drink. Like, good night.
yeah. No, it's called dry humping is one.
But chub is also a euphemism for
Yeah.
stiffy. So I guess you could be doing both, but ow, again, all the layers of fabric.
Yeah. It's like
Like,
that's like some serious rug burn or
yeah.
clothes burn, I guess.
You have to go to the doctor, like, you're like, "Doc, it's hurting." He's like, "What the hell have you been doing?" All I'm imagining is Chad dropping trow and House walking in, like, "The hell is going on?" And God bless you to all doctors who walk into, "What the hell have you done?" and you don't show it,
Yeah.
because I'm sure you are tested greatly.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
I could not maintain professionalism.
yeah, to hear the stories would be hilarious, but there is zero chance that I would be able to be a doctor because, like, hearing like somebody like try to come up with an excuse how a Superman toy got stuck up there behind, on quote unquote accident, I just couldn't handle that.
No, I would wanna hear the story. I'd be like, "So, don't tell me the truth. I want you to tell me the story that you worked on your drive in here, 'cause, I have a bet going." So,
Now,
Twister, you fell while you were doing your hobby stuff.
Now I do have a funny story. It wasn't anything that actually was in my rear, but like so my
What you
sister
say,
had like
baby.
this little like footstool thing, and it had like, it was like this, it's made out of wood, and it was like covered with like, I don't, some type of like fabric-y type stuff or whatever. And like we would sit on it like, because we were younger,
Well,
right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I did not know this at the time. I quickly found out that there was sewing needles in it when I went to
Oh,
sit on
no.
it, and I had an ass cheek full of sewing needles that I can't remember if it was my mom or my dad had to pull them out with pliers.
Yes.
And it was just like it was like, that's the only thing that I can think of that would be like a hilarious story like that. That it's like, yeah, it did not feel good, but like I'm sure there's worse things that could have happened to me.
Well, so when I broke my ankle, I waited a day and a half to go to urgent. I hate doctors. Like, this was before I got hurt. I hated doctors. So
Yeah.
Mr. Mo was like, if you do not drive yourself in, I will take you to the ER. So
Yeah.
I go into urgent care and he's like, oh, that looks terrible. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't really going to come in and get it seen. I don't think anything's wrong with it. And he's like, okay. And I said, he said, well, what happened? And I said, well, would you accept walking drive-by deer attack? He was like, I'm going to need you to explain that before I put that on your chart. So I said, well, I was walking and the deer came out and startled me. So he did a drive-by, but it wasn't really, like, but I was walking. So I call it a walking drive-by deer attack. And he's like, okay, well, I'll just put walking.
He's like, but you have to put the rest in there for posterity of my story.
I was like, that's okay. I'll tell everyone I know.
Yeah. Doctors are funny like that.
Well, but then you get, so the problem is that when I get nervous, I tend to have verbal diarrhea like that. And then
Yeah.
I get stuck with the autistic doctors who don't understand verbal diarrhea and or sarcasm,
Yeah.
which means that I just continue to say things, and they continue to look at me like I'm an alien, which increases the just spurging out I'm doing.
Yeah. That
So
go ahead.
So surgeons, I have found that surgeons are like the most autistic like of doctors. So as long as I go in understanding that like I'm talking to a robot, and in no offense, they just don't deal with living patients. Okay,
Yeah.
alive talking
They're asleep.
patients.
Yes. They're
Yeah.
asleep.
I mean, if I were a doctor, I'd probably be a surgeon.
Yeah. Well, like that happened to me with so because I moved, I had to like find a new doctor and all that stuff. So I go to the doctor for the first time, and he's like, "Do you take any medication?" I'm like, "No, but I do take quite a bit of supplements and stuff." And so he's like, "What do you take?" I start going down the list, and I'm like, I took a picture because there's like so many. And like I get halfway through the list, and I was like, and he's like, "Is that it?" And I was like, "Oh no, there's more." And he's like, "I'm just gonna stop you right there, bud." He's like, "Cause he's like, I ran out of room like 5 things ago." And he's like, so you take some things, and he's like, then he asked me like a follow-up question, like, if something was ever to start bothering you, would you be open to stopping it? And I'm like, well, of course.
Like, no, I expect you to go get me a pessary, a wounded rabbit, and his liver.
Yeah, it was just like, it's like, dude, why didn't you just tell me to stop? He just let me just keep going and keep going and keep going. And he's like, and it's just like, all right, okay.
Well, or you'll have like my doctor who hasn't seen me in 8 months until I had to go back to see him. Like they're like, we will not refill your medications unless you go see to a doctor. And I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
So I go in, and you know how you don't notice you're losing weight the same way other people do?
Yeah.
Because you're like with you all the time and you tend to have a distorted body image of yourself. So I'm just sitting on the thing. He walks in, does a double take, and immediately starts digging his own grave with his mouth. He's like, oh my God, you've lost so much weight. You look so much better. Have you seen yourself? You've lost a lot of weight. I mean, not that you weren't good beforehand. I mean, you were doing great beforehand. And I was like, it's okay to continue. Just let him continue for a couple seconds because I'm a weirdo and I like to see people like spaz.
Flounder. Yeah.
And any other patient might have taken offense, but I was just giggling because I was like, It's okay, sir. I get it. Like, I suffer from the same not being able to say the right thing at the right time.
Yeah.
So we're all good here.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
All right, let's get into Lori asking about this and not friction.
Started to try to talk with your family some.
Yes.
I have no other questions, Your Honor.
Cross.
Translated being.
Oh, here we go.
I love how he's looking at her like, what the hell in hatchet face is this makeup?
Mr. Cox, how long has it been since we've seen each other in person?
Don't know.
When was the last time you saw me?
I don't recall.
Lori, you've been married 5 times. This man has no idea in the nebulous fuck when he saw you last. My husband doesn't remember like our kids' birthdays unless he's, has me next to him. So my husband couldn't tell you what he did last Tuesday.
I can't tell you what I did last Tuesday, and I'm pretty good at remembering things to a degree, but like, yeah, especially if there is this. I hate saying the word friction, then we get into Lori like that just still.
Yeah.
But it's like, especially if there's like tension, we'll say tension. If there's tension
Yeah.
in the family, it's like he's not gonna remember because he's probably like, it sucks. He doesn't want to think about how like terrible his family is, like because
Yeah.
people's
And
families aren't like that.
yeah, most people's family don't produce 2 people who unalived a bunch of people in order to bring about the end times. I mean,
Yeah.
he was dealing with a lot. He doesn't remember when he saw you last, Lori, even if you did make enchiladas.
Yeah, or maybe he's trying really hard to forget. Don't remind him.
Yeah, maybe those enchiladas sucked.
Yeah, well, I mean, could you imagine though, like for real, like this is your sister, right?
Yeah.
And like you're thinking like, oh my God, like my entire life, like this, I've been in rooms with her alone and stuff, and like she's this evil person because she's like,
Yeah.
she did all these things. So like bro's trying to forget. Like I get it. I
Bro's
get it,
trying to
homie.
forget, and she's over here like, "Do you remember the enchiladas?" He's like, "Ma'am, I am trying to forget you ever existed. Like, bye, Felicia." And she's like, "Yes, but the enchiladas, I serve them every Tuesday. Do you happen to remember those?"
Exactly. It's like I feel a little bad for the guy because it's like I know he's trying to forget. It's just
Yeah,
like
and to be, third party intervenered by your own sister calling you Mr. Cox like she doesn't know you.
yeah, like that was also a little weird. Like,
Yeah.
Mr. Cox, when was the last time you saw me? It's like,
It's
first
like,
off,
unlike our other brother, I wasn't that weirdly into you, so I don't remember. You're not that important, Lori. Next question.
that would have been a perfect answer.
Oh my God, please, sir, next time, because I know you're probably going to get called, could you please let me write your script?
Yeah, we can write the answers out like B. Ivory did for God, I can't even remember his name. Edgecombe. It's like,
Edgecombe.
Jesus, what's his name?
Your stable of answers are, Lori, I don't know, you aren't that important to me. No one cares, Lori. We kind of forgot.
Yeah.
That weird guy you married, don't remember.
Yeah.
And anything
Sure.
with a middle finger.
Yeah. Oh, and your enchiladas are terrible.
Yeah.
They're forgettable, which is why nobody remembers them, Lori.
Your enchiladas gave me food poisoning. I try to forget. I've blocked it out of my mind. It was DEFCON 2 diarrhea for 3 days. Again, sir, if you need any help with zingers, we are here. Again, we are not here to help grow your family rift into a nice, warm, loving family ever again. We're trying to get Lori to never speak to you again. Our services are free as long as you use our patented method of irritating a translated being.
That should be a legit service.
Oh my God. I'm not only a client, I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
So has it been a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 6
Something like
years,
that.
7 years, 8 years?
Something.
Okay. So you have no idea.
Something.
Nope.
That is a damn good answer, sir.
You have no idea.
What
Something.
in the name of all that is unholy is going on here? Has it been 5? Like, why is she asking him like they dated? Again, dude's your brother. He's going to remember there was probably food there, and his wife remembered that he had to go there. That is what
Yeah.
he is going to remember. Food, and he was possibly there because his wife remembered.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I wouldn't have remembered like some inconsequential, like at the time, right? It was an inconsequential dinner or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, but now in hindsight, like, she's putting all this emphasis on it, and it's like he's not gonna remember, like, because it was just a normal whatever Tuesday
Yeah,
or
it was like a
whatever.
normal film, like torturous thing that he went over to see his crazy sister.
Yeah. Like you'll remember the big things like Christmas
Yeah.
or something or whatever you may celebrate,
When
but
your
it's like,
sister unalives her entire family. I mean, that's
yeah,
going to probably be more like top of mind, to quote Kareem Jean Pierre. It's going to be a little more top of mind than, when you last saw your crazy ass.
yeah, not wrong. Not wrong with this lady.
When the last time you saw me in person?
I don't know the year or how many years it's been.
Okay. So did you see me at Colby's wedding in January 2018?
No, I was not there.
You didn't come to Colby's wedding.
No, I did not.
What in the family get together chat are we watching?
She and the way that she was like, like so condescending. It's like, oh my God, like I would have been
Yeah, like
like,
bye Felicia with this attitude.
yeah. At this juncture, this is where the judge would have probably dismissed some people out of the room and been like, "Sir, we need to have a little chat." Because I'd been like, "Don't cop that attitude with me."
I'd be like, convicted murderer says what?
Yeah, like I just
I'd thrown the whole GD trial. I'd been like, is there a bailiff around? Because someone might need to get someone and check their attitude before I get in some orange here.
yeah, like that little
Yeah, that little
It's just, yeah, that shit would drive me crazy.
Also, how like deep into your psychosis do you need to be the morally superior one in this conversation? Like to delude yourself that you're the good one. Like, well, I remember the last time I saw you.
Yeah, but it's like,
Also, can we appreciate that no one smacks their lips in this trial? Karen Breed is slowly the trial, like, is it a Boston thing that you must smack your lips at the start of any sort of verbal engagement?
I have no idea. I don't know anybody from Boston.
That trial, every one of them smacks their lips when they talk, and it's like I can't. And then it's the Boston accent, and it's like, oh my, I had an idea, and I'm just like, no. So odd to say Arizona, where people talk normal.
And every time I hear that when somebody like, because it's a Northeast thing when people say idea, it's definitely
Yeah.
a Northeast thing because like, do you remember the Paul Tuttle from the American motorcycle, whatever company, Orange County
Oh
Motorcycles?
yeah,
He
yeah.
used to say that idea, and I'm like, what is he talking about? What is an
Okay,
idea?
Yeah, so my dad's from New Hampshire, and it's weird because I can hear like little northeastern things, so they kind of remind me of like niceness and my grandma and everything. But then
Yeah.
there are these just massive thunder cows just babbling, and it's like, oh my God, I'm beginning to hate New England accents.
Yeah. I know there's all accents have like weird words and stuff that drive people crazy, but like I don't understand what an idea is, or like where is the state of Washington? Can you explain that to me? Where is
Okay,
Washington?
I will say that Indiana does have a crossover here with that because there are some people in Indiana, I don't know if it's an Appalachia thing or what, that'll say wash rag
Yeah.
or we need to wash some. I don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's little verbal and word things that make me want to pull my soul out. Like when people say supposedly,
Yeah.
it's like a little part of me dies
Yeah, like
every
I know that
time.
I make words up sometimes like that. Like I know there was a time a long time ago until I became aware of it and I have worked on correcting it. Is like I would say be time instead of by the time. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I know everybody has little quirky things that they do or
Yeah.
whatever, but I just
And
don't
and
understand
I'm
the
over
worst.
here famous for making up my own daggone words, and I'm over here looking down on people.
Okay,
So I guess we're all a-holes sometimes.
I have not heard this one before. A
Toilet,
toilet?
toilet.
I've not heard that one before. That's interesting.
Half Irish, me making up words. Honestly, it just kinda I'm a terrible speller. Terrible. So when even autocorrect fails me, I will make up my own fucking word because screw you, autocorrect.
There's
So that's where that started.
there's a few
So I
words.
started saying like doctorologist or, like stupid legologist because Mr. Mo would ask, "So who did you see today?" I'm like, "I don't some stupid like legologist."
I there's a few words that I like still to this day struggle spelling. One of them is Wednesday. And so I'll like actually go
Because the
wed
the N is
Nez.
there and
Yeah.
seriously, I'm just hoping to spell it incorrectly close enough that the autocorrect will get it. Like,
Yeah.
please let this be something autocorrect can remember. Autocorrect is like, "Bitch, what are you talking about?"
Yeah. Uh,
So did you see me sometime that year at my house
Possibly.
where Colby got married? That house,
I did see you at that house. Yes.
at least one time.
Yes.
So possibly in 2018.
Yes.
And when was the last time we had any communications?
The last time I remember our communications was you and I were speaking in the kitchen when the family was over.
Okay, so you think that was that time in 2018?
I think so.
Okay. And we're
I mean, I don't know about you, but I feel like this man is stuck in one of those relationship traps where he's gonna get asked something she already knows the answer to. I'm like, I don't know. I have this need to tell him, like Admiral Akbar, like, "It's a trap. Get out. This is like the butt question. You're just not gonna get it right. Retreat."
yeah. Yeah. There's it definitely seems like she's like setting up to something, but and she's kind of doing it somewhat tactfully, but it's like it's going to be like, well, don't you remember my delicious enchiladas?
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's coming.
building up to something stupid,
Yeah.
but she's kind of doing but it's really weird the way she's interacting with him. I don't know if because this is very much doesn't read like a brother-sister talk to me,
No. Yeah.
but like a girlfriend-boyfriend talk to
Yeah.
me.
Jilted
So,
ex-lover thing.
yeah, so it's really weird if she interacts with all men this way. I don't know, but
It's
chick, he's
strange.
your brother. Like, seriously, look outside your family. You're on husband number 5. I mean, I'm sure you can find 6 maybe not related to you, okay?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Are we eating my green chili chicken enchiladas?
Do not remember that.
You do not remember that?
Nope.
Is that what I made every time we had a family get together, which was like 10 times a year?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Okay.
She's like, She's marking him guilty. He's now a dark spirit. Didn't remember enchiladas. Must be possessed by other entity.
Yeah. It's like if they were good, he'd maybe remember them. Because it's like, oh man, I only get these like 10 times a year or whatever. And it's like,
Okay,
they clearly aren't rememberable.
let's be real. Lori's enchiladas are probably made with like canned chicken breast,
Oh,
Velveeta cheese, and American cheese slices on the top with olives.
oh God. That just sounds just disgusting.
Probably with mayonnaise on the side.
Oh,
Like I'm going full
probably.
caucasity with this one. I'm not even
Caucasity.
allowing I'm not even allowing for the fact that she's lived in Arizona for years. I'm thinking she's stuck with the Utah being like no spice and whatever you could find in Utah.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, green chilies aren't even spicy. And it's like, come on, man. It's like,
I just love how she's just like, okay, like, what are you trying to prove, ma'am? That you met him, that you saw him? Get to a point other than your enchiladas.
yeah. It's like, I mean, maybe she's shopping around for hubby number 6 and she's like, oh, I'll make these green chili chicken enchiladas. Everybody
Yeah.
remembers them except for her
Lori's
brother.
like, when Jesus helps me escape from prison and exonerates me, everyone will want to have this recipe. She's already thinking of her Meghan Markle like as ever talk show.
Yeah, it's
You know, sometimes I wonder what it would be like to be on a different plane of existence, you know, wherever Lori is in her mind. Like
delusion.
yeah, I mean, do colors look brighter? Do smells smell better? Do the snozberries taste like snozberries? I have questions. Actually, Elon, keep up with Neuralink. One of the adventures would be I am Lori Daybell. I'm probably not going to try the Taylorship business experience for obvious reasons. But you know, a day in Lori's, you know, brain, maybe I think I could handle it. I wonder
Yeah.
if Lori would be a gateway though, and then I'd go with the full business.
Is that the gateway though? Really? Is that the gateway? Or is
Yeah,
it the
I
other
don't
way
know.
around? Is your business the gateway to Lori?
I don't know. I feel like, you know, it's like that old saying, you know, you want a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed. That's
Yeah.
your Lori's your daytime chick, and your business is your night.
Yeah,
Never go
but
full business. We need a T-shirt that says that.
I mean, but your business only has 1 in her body count column.
True.
So,
I would love to spend a day with the confidence of knowing that I am a God-chosen being and can never be wrong.
yeah. But I mean, Shabusiness did take it to another level. I mean, but
Yeah.
the
To be
whole
fair, I have still never, you know, I might take it just to understand what I wrote him like a donkey actually means.
and what it would be like to yell WrestleMania in the courtroom before trying allegedly to attack your attorney.
I mean, at this point, you just brings your business in the full Hannibal Lecter. I don't know why they're even letting this heifer, you know, freaking out with shackles. Like she needs the full Hannibal Lecter if anyone does.
Yeah, but like, I mean, Shabusiness is more like the comic relief, right? I mean, because she's funny. WrestleMania, you know, gets clotheslined to the thing. Allegedly, the first time she attacked her attorney was just kind of hilarious. But it's just like she's the comic relief to the Lori. Lori's the real
She's not
crazy.
the yeah, Lori is the Joker, and Taylor Shabusiness is like one of the convicts that he lets out just to cause chaos.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like the Harley Quinn, if you will.
Oh my gosh, we need a murderous ladies Dungeons and Dragons. Now I've never played, but I think it could be awesome if someone could do it. I don't know how much work is involved. I'm more of an idea person. I'm just saying I would play the hell out of it.
Yeah. We have your Jodies, your Shabusinesses,
This
your
is
Vallows, or
yeah.
Vallow Cox. What else was she called?
Well,
Bell,
So
Daybell, yeah.
yeah, so she had her first marriage was to like right out of high school. And I don't think she counted that one because he was an LDS. So I think in her mind that didn't count. Then she met Colby's father and I think stayed with him long enough to have Colby. Then she met Tylee's father. They were really good until Lori like went nuts, I think. And then she met Chad and apparently bamboozled him for long enough.
I,
So
you know way more about this broad than I do.
look, someone says fifth husband. I'm like, well, I'm on number 2. Let's see final form Mo. And I've taken a look and I've decided no. Because if Chad is my final form, I'm out. What is that show where it's like better stay? I'm staying.
I don't know what show you're referring to, but that just sounds funny.
I can't it was one of those older like award shows also or game shows. As also bring back Press Your Luck with real whammies
Yeah.
that, again, because that was the greatest show. And he won like a toaster, but everyone was super happy to be there.
Well, yeah. But I mean, it was also like the 70s, so like a toaster, back then it was like winning a car, basically.
Fair point. Bring back non-inflation.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to her questioning him like he didn't bring her an anniversary stuffy.
And when's the last time that we had a phone call or text message?
I have no idea.
Could it possibly be around?
Like, bitch, are we dating? Like, I don't.
Yeah, like I legitimately don't understand the line of questioning here. Like,
Not at all. I'm enjoying it, but mostly because she's getting incredibly more pissy because he just gives no. Again, he's a guy. Ladies, I'm not making fun of guys. I can just tell you from my experience, my husband doesn't remember jack crap. Every year I have to remind him that, Valentine's Days, for the kids is every year. He's like, why are we buying Valentine's again? I'm like, because they have parties every year.
don't you remember school? Like, no.
No, where he's like, are they still doing Halloween? I'm like, yes, every year. They've got their costumes. So I'm just saying that, yeah, really, you're especially when you're not married to him, you're not dating him, he's not going to remember jack crap.
Yeah. And I can tell
On
you
that
that
exact-
I don't remember a lot of things. I remember some things, but I
Well,
I
like,
forget
if
a
it
lot
had
of things.
if it had been like, oh, had Lori specified with like, hey, it was the going away for so and so, or it was right around the time we had mom's 50th anniversary or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
some
can get my
random
husband
day.
to orient, but like just like, oh, it was a family dinner we had one night. Like,
Yeah, I'm not gonna remember that. But yeah, like
I
if
could
you
barely remember yesterday. Hell, I thought I was stuck in groundhogs yesterday. So I don't.
yeah, like if you do what you just outlined, like you frame it around something, it's like, oh yeah, I remember that or whatever. But it's like if you're just gonna ask me, like, do you remember some random thing on some random day? It's like, nope. Sure don't.
Yeah, this sounds about like what she probably did. She probably got, a one of those pre-made enchilada packets from the McCormick's thing, canned chicken, some cream
Oh.
cheese, canned green chilies, and she's like, "It's what we like to call Tex-Mex, and I put a little tapatio, just a tapatio, to make it spicy."
Like I I have reminders on my phone every day to remind me to take my AM vitamins and my PM vitamins. I'm not kidding. I have reminders to remind me to do that.
No, I have to take screenshots and then do like 3 day before, 1 day before, and then 1 hour before.
Yeah.
reminders for appointments because I get time blindness. So I totally get that. But I'm on her brother's side. Like I don't remember jack crap. And if you ask me like, hey, that random day we had enchiladas, be
Yeah.
like, did someone throw up? Did something explode? Did we have a really meaningful conversation? Like
Yeah. It just
orient me to something other than your enchiladas.
yeah, exactly. Canned
Exact
chicken
same time.
enchiladas.
Possibly.
Okay. So that was possibly in early 2018?
Yes.
Okay.
We're getting somewhere. It's 2018, possibly January.
I
And you
think
still
he's
had
just giving in.
enchiladas?
He's like, stop asking me this stupid question. Yes, sure, it's 2018.
Who do you think initiated the final communication in our relationship?
Who concluded it?
Yeah.
What in the Jeopardy weird way of asking a question and getting the answer in the form of a question was that question? So
Yeah.
who do you remember that, stopped communicating when we stopped communicating?
Yeah. Well, and it was just even a weird way to say it. Who concluded it? It's like, well, what do you mean? Like, who ended the conversation or who cut
Like,
off the communication? Like,
I'd have
those are
been
two
like,
different
I
things.
really, oh, I would have gone into again, sir, if you need a script for next trial. Well, I do remember being very, very upset that we didn't have the old Bakewell plastic phone so I could really hang the hell up on you. I do remember that, pushing of the end button wasn't as satisfying as, really slamming that phone into a receiver.
It isn't as satisfying as just hitting the little
No,
red button on your phone anymore.
no, and then sometimes you don't even get it on the first shot because you're like me and you're still trying to remember how well, you're probably having never had fake nails and tried to figure out how to use your phone.
I mean, I have had that problem, but it has nothing to do with fake nails.
The rich and varied lives that we lead.
Similar outcomes, though.
Yes.
I don't know.
So right now it's 2025, is that correct?
Yes.
And so we haven't,
I'm just so proud Lori got the year right. I mean, it's the first part of her remote cognitive test that I've been able to count down as normal. So there you go. Barring and the fact that I'm not a practicing therapist or even a licensed or educated therapist means that the Goldwater rule doesn't apply to me.
spoken in about 8 years. Would that be correct?
Well, that would be 7.
Probably
But
7 or 8 years.
Okay, sir, what you should have answered was, it felt like it's been 84 years. It's felt like 84 years since I got rid of your crazy ass, and it's only been 8 years, so you make the time dilation work in your favor, Lori.
I would have just been like, well, it's multiple lifetimes, I suppose. Set a little jab.
I'd have been like, let me pull up my Facebook. Marked safe from cold. Yep, that was 8 years ago. I knew this Facebook thing was going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you say up until that point that how often would we communicate before that?
Too much.
Before what?
Before 2018?
Probably on a regular basis. Once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month.
Again, ma'am, he's not dating you. He's your brother. I think my brother and I talk once or twice a year. I know I'm terrible at it, but we both have families, and honest to goodness, if I don't text him right when I think about it, I'll remember about 4 months later. So
Yeah. Like, I don't text that often or call my sister that often, but like, I can't remember. I sent her something like weeks ago, and the response I got was a thumbs up. Like, but it's like,
yeah,
I don't talk with her that frequently.
I mean, he's doing better than both of us. So, ma'am, you should have just been happy.
Yeah.
No one's going to remember your stupid enchiladas, but he did try to call before you went crazy. I mean, damn, what do you expect from him? To date you like your other brother, allegedly?
Is that
Look,
really alleged? No.
okay. Well, I mean, they were like weirdly close. Like she would
Oh, I
full
know.
on
Yeah.
like jump hug him and like wrap her legs around him.
That's why I was saying, is it really alleged or did it actually happen?
Well, a lot of people have noted it was oddly close. Like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones close, allegedly in Minecraft.
Yeah. Like there wasn't a lot of friction there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. He would heal her of her.
Mm.
I mean, it was kind of a John Redcorn thing, if we're honest.
Damn it, Tommy.
Like poor Charles here, he's looking for the real cheater, and the real cheater's been there, John Redcorning it the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that I just made that a verb.
Yeah. Red corning.
And this is how Moisms happen.
Yeah. You have to sneak in the King of the Hill references.
I
But
love
was he
King of the Hill.
selling propane and propane accessories?
If he was, I'd have snatched him up, Lori. That's husband number 6. That is a motivated man who will get your girl. You will taste the meat, not the heat. And how is it I fucking remember that? I can't remember like my husband's phone number to save my life. But I can
quotes
remember
from King of
something
the
from the Hill. Yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't help when you're trying to write out your emergency contact and you have to look up your husband's contact information. And they're like, "Oh, did he just change his number?" I'm like, "No, he's had the same one since we've been together. I'm just currently thinking about Futurama right now."
Yeah, but like who nowadays legitimately uses like a phone number? Like cuz everybody has a smartphone essentially now. And so like all your numbers are stored in your phone. Like I only have a handful of numbers
Yeah, I mean, even 911,
memorized.
your phone will ask you if you push the right, like the help me number button enough. It knows to call 911 for you.
Yeah, like you know what? Speaking of that, I saw like some little like snippet video thing the other day of like some dude had he had an Apple Watch and like I don't remember if he was having a heart attack or a stroke or something, but like his watch called 911 for him and it actually saved his life because
Okay.
like he was incapable of doing
Yeah.
so. And I was just like, that's really cool, but that's also kind of creepy at the same time.
That's where I'm like, I don't really want Apple to know I'm in distress.
Yeah.
I was trying to call my insurance company and somehow I probably user error, put one wrong digit in, you know,
Yeah.
and I got on this thing where they were trying to sell me a life alert. And I was like, hey, no, I totally agree with you that we should all have life alerts on us. I am simply trying to find out if I am actually talking to anyone related to this insurance. And she kept saying, no, I can't help you with that, but I can get you a free health monitor. And I was like, okay, are you connected with, such and such insurance info? I had like 3 people later, she's like, it's really sad when people don't want healthcare monitors, but we're not even like involved in your insurance. I was like,
Oh dear.
like the one time I get customer service people that can actually speak coherent and fully eloquent English and they can't listen worth a damn. Wonderful. It's like,
Yeah.
the irony there is something Alanis Morissette will sing about soon.
She probably already has.
Probably it's in the next LP dropping.
Yeah.
Like a call or a text message?
Yes.
Carrier pigeon.
Just keeping in touch?
Yes.
Not that kind of touch.
Just questioning.
You know of us living in Hawaii and you were living in Kansas at the time?
Yes.
And in your career, you lived in lots of different places. Is that correct?
Yes.
Austin?
Where are we going with this, Lori?
Yeah, like what in the
You
world
had
does that?
years in prison to think of any question. And you're like,
Yeah,
"So you lived places like Austin and other places? Did you use a mover or did you commit a felony and get in prison too?"
yeah. Or did you use like pods or like how did you do that? And just
These these are, again, questions you would ask maybe a significant other you hadn't seen in a while, but possibly not when you're trying to defend yourself against a murder accusation.
yeah, like I mean,
Like,
I could even see asking like a brother or a sister this, like, oh, like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while, like you moved around a bit or whatever. Like, I get that, but like again, in the context of like you're on trial for murder, I don't get
yeah,
it.
and this isn't your first rodeo. You've actually sat in while your lawyers did a real like your your triple homicide case.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like I
were any of their questions like this? No,
yeah.
because they didn't want to date their brother. Allegedly in Minecraft, of course.
Yeah.
Yes,
Dallas,
yes,
New York,
yes,
Wichita,
yes,
Sacramento.
yes.
Did I miss anything?
Others,
And I was in Texas,
yes,
Arizona,
yes,
Hawaii.
Yes, this is Lori acting as her own lawyer in her most recent case. So, for Charles Vallow, her husband, she decided to represent herself. And this is her questioning her brother, uh, the one who didn't decide to listen to her craziness and basically cut ties with the family when he was learning all the shenanigans. So, she's interrogating one of the non crazy brothers.
Yeah, I mean,
This is not a geography class. We are not quite sure what these questions are,
and it
but it's
is.
Lori Vallow.
And I believe the message that I'm supposed to take from this is this actually Consuelo Vallow, thank you, because of her enchiladas. So
It's Lore. No, it's gonna be like the Aldi, how they have and Trader Joe, how they have like Sensei Joe or
yeah, yeah,
Senor Joe.
yeah. It's Senorita Vallow. Mm,
Yes,
mm,
it's gonna be like that.
it doesn't
Or if
quite,
you've seen Ratatouille, it's going to be like that.
but it doesn't like Lori doesn't like flow off the tongue like it
Okay,
does in like.
unless you change it to Lori Marie Consuelo Esperanza Valodebel.
But like so when I was younger, there was a movie called Selena, and there's a
Oh,
line in the
yes.
movie where somebody like her car breaks down or something, I don't remember, and they're like, "It's Selena," and he goes, "It's not Selena, it's Selena." Like you can't do that with
Oh, yeah.
Lori. It's like, how do you do
Lori's
that?
gonna change her name to Selena, take the entire backstory, and be like, "No, I am the real Selena. I can
Yeah,
choose who I want to be translated as."
yeah. And I genuinely like that movie, by the
I do love that
way.
movie. Although when you find out that, like, the husband doesn't look as cute, I always felt let down. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
"Selena, what were you what did he play
See,
the drum really well? Like, what's going on here?"
when I because I didn't know anything about like the Selena thing, like I don't remember anything about I didn't know anything about her. So when I saw the movie, like I didn't know that it was like a real person and like a real like based on a real story that happened. Like I didn't know
Yeah, I
that.
don't think I knew that either. I thought I was like, "Oh, wow, this is cool," and then I heard it was a real story.
Yeah, and then it was like, oh God, that's like terrible. Like why did she do that?
And thank you, M Spire and Yolanda. I actually just did a Newsy News, or I had her on Newsy News, and she's like, "It was Selena's fault. She was trying to, take the weapon from me." And yes, I'm using a not so great accent, so I'll probably stop that. But anyway, uh, Yeah, it was basically like it was all her fault. And thank you so much, M Spire. It's I should be in bed. It's 4:30 in the morning in Oz. Thank you so much. And thank you for keeping me sane during the Karen Reed trial because honestly, that is beginning to drag on my nerves.
Oh, that's cool.
Well,
Look,
okay, because
look
honest
at
to
that.
goodness, I just of all the cases for everyone to lose their entire use of all of their higher functioning faculties, I would have assumed it'd be like the Diddy case or when we finally got the Epstein list. But no, a somewhat simple hit and run case in a backwater, corrupt little hamlet of Canton is what has people losing their daggone minds.
Yeah, well, and then when you find out that I can't remember the girls' names and stuff, but I do know it is good old Canton PD
Oh,
of
yeah.
the police officers that were grooming
Yeah,
underage.
Birchmore. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and I was
such
just
a yeah. Honest to goodness, it makes me wanna never visit Massachusetts. I
yeah, because there was
and I could be
another one.
totally wrong, but does no one have an inside voice in Boston
Probably not.
or
I think that's just an East.
Massachusetts?
I think that's just an East Coast thing generally.
And the things they call each other, like the way the women like, it's just too aggressive for me. I
That's
would
definitely an East Coast thing.
well, you think I'd have met my people, but I can't drink. I am a disgrace to my Irish, Scottish, German heritage.
Yeah, like I used to work with somebody who was from Ireland, and he was like, "Oh, you're gonna celebrate St. Patty's Day or whatever." I'm like, "Bro, I'm like, y'all get a day to drink. I get a whole damn month." I'm like, "Cause I'm German." It's like-
Oktoberfest it is.
yeah, but
Let's get back to where have we lived and why does it matter in this case?
yeah.
Is she trying to play Carmen Sandiego? Like,
Oh my
where
God,
in the world is Carmen
Carmen
Sandiego?
Sandiego. Yeah,
That was my jam. Like when we had like days where our teachers were, I'm assuming, so drunk from drinking mouthwash they didn't want to teach anymore. And
yeah.
they would just bring in, PBS, to try to teach us geography. And we got to do Carmen Sandiego. I was like, this is a good day. Like that was the best day in school when your teachers just gave up.
Yeah. Well, it's funny though, because like I don't remember one of these that we did like in the last few weeks or something, like the Oregon Trail came up. And
Oh
like
yeah.
but the other thing that we had is like I don't remember this Carmen Sandiego show you're talking about, but like we had that on the computer as well. It was like we had Carmen Sandiego and we had Oregon Trail.
Yes. Well, I think it was a game first and then they made it into a show.
Oh,
Although
okay.
when I become the leader of Disney, I am going to make a reality show called Oregon Trail. There were no survivors. And it's going to be Rachel Zegler, Meghan Markle, and other people I don't like.
That would probably do well as a premise for a TV show, regardless of the contestants
I
in
know.
2025.
Oregon Trail, there were no survivors. The reality. Well, we probably wouldn't put that as the tagline. Like, of course you'll survive.
It's
Probably.
the Oregon Trail, and the tagline is like, "You have dysentery."
Yeah. Your oxen has died.
Yeah.
You
Not.
failed to ford the river.
Yeah.
Oregon Trail misery.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mm.
I'm sure there's like one or two people that have ever actually finished that game, but let me just tell you, it was like choose your own death adventures. I never won that once.
Yeah. Like I think we talked about this before. Like I have actually
Yeah.
completed it before.
Well, of course you have.
But like it's one of those things like it's there's a lot
Okay,
of
did you
chance in
complete
it.
it? Did your entire family complete it and your oxen?
Well, like I mean, oh, you mean in the game? I think
Yeah.
like some of the family didn't make it, but
Val made it.
but they're like the Loris of the family. Like they're ones you're
True.
not really disappointed in that didn't make it. You know what I mean? I
They were at
mean,
the end of the wagon trail for a reason.
yeah, it's just they're the people who like on the airplane like scenario thing where like they're expendable to a degree. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah, to
know.
be fair, like people who take their shoes off. Like, which way to get out? I don't know. Do you have your shoes on? I took them off. The other way, other way.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm such an ass. This is why I will never have power because I would be an ass.
well,
But
at
not
least
as
it
much
would
of
be
an ass
funny.
as Lori. Yeah, I'd be a funny ass
Yeah.
and make people, try to do Oregon Trail.
Which would
Yes.
still be funny.
So would you say that we were not physically close during the past 20 years?
Yeah.
Is that something you would ever ask a sibling
No.
that way?
Especially
Ever?
the way that she asked it.
Yes. I've
Were we
never asked
ever-
my brother, so like we've never been physically close.
Yeah.
Like, you would
It's a
ask,
weird
so we
question.
really haven't been, we really haven't seen each other, but we kept up through talking. Like we maintained a relationship even though we were in different states. That's how
Yeah.
you would maybe not like, so we've never been physically close.
Yeah, like you
You-
could even frame it as like we were never close, right? Like
Yeah.
that's like I would never
Why
emphasize
are we
that by
adding
saying
physically?
physically to it. Yeah.
What in the name of Cheetos is going on here? Lori, I need you to
Mm.
draw me a map of where you're going with this because it seems like you think you're doing an awesome job. I just would like to know where you're trying to go because as an outside observer, I'm not understanding your strategy.
Yeah, I legitimately like at first I was like, okay, like she's taking a little while to get to where she's going, but like it kind of she seems like she's building up to something, and now I don't know what she's even talking about. Like I don't know what the purpose of like how to get to the
I
green
mean,
enchilada conversation.
so
Like
the
I don't
most
get it.
generous take I could take off of this is that she's attempting, and this is me trying to take the whatever finger painting that she's done and trying to get logic to it to show that he wasn't like a close brother. So she wouldn't have confided, important stuff in him. So
Mhm.
while they may be brother and sister, they're not close. So whatever he says is, definitely not something he would have gotten either firsthand from her or with any deep knowledge of her goings on in her life.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
That being said, it's like looking at a Warshot painting. I'm putting meaning into it that might not be there.
Yeah, I mean, but I can at least the explanation that you just gave, though, I can see how like that may be where she's trying to go. She's just not doing it well.
Oh my God, Lori, hire me as an interpreter of logic, which I know sounds ridiculous coming from me, but given your level of crazy, I'm actually the perfect level of nutso/normal to translate. Um, I will need access to wigs, very cold Coke Zero, and Mike and Ike's. The blue box, not the mix with the 10, but the berry blue and the red tropical typhoon, unlimited. But I am willing to do this. Arizona, consider me.
Pro Hoc Vice, right?
Pro Hoc, I'm Mike and Ike's. Can do. We'll travel.
uh,
Someone in the DA is watching this and like, you know what? To actually make it less incoherent, what's
yeah,
our
like,
budget for Mike and Ike's?
yeah, well, I mean, we can
Gonna
make
get
it
an
work.
email from from the Maricopa County DA tomorrow.
It's like, we heard that you were volunteering to help represent Lori.
And I'd be like, okay, I have some demands.
yeah,
They're
it's
like, we are willing to talk about the Mike and Ike's. Okay, what about the wig budget? We're willing to give you some. I was like, will it be in poor taste if I dress exactly like Lori? And we'll allow it. I'll be Lori's pinch lawyer. I'm still, pro se, but I kind of know what she's thinking, and maybe I can ask normal questions. I will be allowed to lead, though, because fuck, what if any? Not doing it.
What do you expect me to be, Elaine?
What do you expect me to be, Lolly?
Yeah,
It kills
I've
me.
heard.
You have okay, so riddle me this, because how is it so hard to ask a non-leading question? Like, you went to college and then went on to the school where they teach you how to ask non-leading questions. I mean, I wouldn't judge you so harshly if you were like me and dropped out of college twice, because I've never, but you went to a school that specifically told you how to not ask dumb, stupid questions, and yet you continue to show your brilliance in it, Lolly. Congratulations.
I mean, some people are just good at asking dumb questions. I mean,
Fair point.
Yes, I would say that.
So our communication would be solely family get-togethers, occasional text messages. Is that correct?
And phone calls, yes.
Okay.
And we finally got to a point. See, I am a Lori whisperer. Hire me, Arizona. Do you really want to deal with this heifer by herself for another month and a half?
Wait,
It
this
may
is
not
still
be
going
kosher,
on?
but I'll make it funny.
This is still
Well,
going
because
on?
so she had 2 cases in Arizona. This is the one for Charles Vallow. And then her niece, Melanie, Melanie Boudreau. Melanie Boudreau decided that Aunt Lori's cult is awesome. Now, Melanie, I think, lost her mother at a young age and kind of adopted Lori as a mother figure. So I am giving her a little bit of leeway. But then comes the next part of the story. She decides kind of randomly to divorce her husband, Brandon Boudreau, and basically say he was being terrible, like abandoned her family, just all sorts of weird stuff.
Yeah.
One day after he's moved out of the marital home and I think gotten his own place, he went to the gym, got out, and as he was, either in his car or just getting into his car, he was shot at and nearly hit with a bullet. So obviously, I think this was right either after or before Charles died. So he, called the cops, say, hey, my ex is kind of gone crazy and her aunt is crazy and just lost her husband. So it's actually the conspiracy attempted murder that is the next trial for Lori.
Oh, Jesus. I genuinely did not know that. That she has another one. Like, I knew the Idaho ones and I knew this one, but I didn't know she had another one on top of all of this.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that I didn't know if they were actually going to connect Lori to it. I don't know if Melanie's actually been brought into it. I really only have the bandwidth for Karen Reed right now.
Yeah.
So I'll be digging in and we'll be doing a Petty Express where we watch this entire trial. I couldn't do any more. I couldn't do any more Karen yesterday. I'm just like, good night, nurse. They're all guilty. Throw them all in jail.
That is very surprising to me that there's even more craziness on top of the already craziness that exists. I
Well,
had no idea.
There are also, there were allusions to them, Chad and Lori, having taken out Alex because he was kind of the henchman that did the
Yeah.
wet work. But it did turn out to be pulmonary embolisms. And there has been shadows cast on Tylee's father, but he had been so far gone before he was found that there really wasn't anything conclusive they could do. And his
Yeah.
family, I think, did have heart problems. So there are a lot of weird things that have happened around Lori, but some of them are explained.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, not
I-
this questioning or
Well,
her
no.
chicken enchiladas, but some things we have found out the answers to.
Yeah, interesting. I did not know about the side quest here that she's going for.
So, Mr. Cox, did you see or hear or personally witness me conspire with my brother Alex Cox to murder my husband Charles Vallow?
Repeat that again.
Okay.
That's a long
Did-
That's
pause.
what that's what we call a compound question. So she should have said, okay, did you directly have firsthand knowledge, not something someone told you, but a text or a conversation you were in which you saw or you heard any, conversation about this plot? Because if I were Lori, I'd be framing it as, okay, well, if I'm the mastermind, I must have a plot and I must be telling people this plot. And the more people I can say, or I can bring up to say, I never heard Lori talk about this, well, then, how is a plot if you have no evidence?
Yeah.
That being said, it's Lori Vallow. And it's not like even if she was found not guilty on this, so Dr. Pepper Zero, I will say, and none of the weird flavors, like the black raspberry flavor is, it's like drinking Dimetap to me,
They
which you think
make
I would find comforting, but no.
I didn't know they made non-Dr. Pepper Dr. Pepper. Like I legitimately I don't drink.
So
like,
there was
soda,
a
but-
coconut Dr. Pepper that I really wanted to try because, okay, one of the
Ugh.
cool things that the LDS has created, or, Latter-day Saints has created, are dirty pop. So it's, for me, it's Coke Zero with sugar-free coconut creamer and then a little bit of lime juice. Now it sounds disgusting, not going to lie, but it is my summer jam. Now, most people use regular pop with regular, creamer and all that jazz, but that's like an entire, day's worth of calorie in one large drink. And I'd much rather drink chemicals.
I'm I don't even know what to say to that.
Well, you know how people are like, oh, you should drink more water. And I was like, well, water, I don't like the taste of water. I mean, and I'll do Crystal Light, I'll keep hydrated, but look, I have an addiction to Diet Pop. It just is what it is. And now that they've made Coke Zero, I see no reason to change.
Yeah, I suppose. I get it. I do. I had switched to when I was in the process of stopping drinking sodas, I switched to Zevia, which is basically
Oh yeah,
I mean, which is it's
those are
great.
gross tasting. No,
Some
that's
of some
just
of
like
them are
crap.
gross. Yeah, some of them are gross. Like the cherry one, it's all amazeballs. But yeah, like
The cream soda one is donkey ball sack. I don't know how they did it, but they managed to get the taste in. Just ugh. I
yeah,
was just like, what you sold, like this went through product testing, and this is what you ended up with.
see, I never
like-
got that adventurous though. Like I didn't try that one. Like I stuck
Well,
to
that
like,
one's like Buzz, your girlfriend, wolf.
it's
Like maybe
yeah.
other people like it, but I do like the kombucha pops, like the Ollie pops or whatever they've got fermented.
Oh yeah,
Or-
I've heard of some of those, yeah. And I think Trader Joe's has ones that have like probiotics and stuff in them.
Yeah, they're just, look, I'm going to go back to Coke Zero. Every time I'm not going to go to Trader Joe's. I'm just going to get like a 2 liter of Coke Zero and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I see some other people saying that the different things that they use, like I just drink water now. Like I don't drink, I drink coffee and I drink water. That's it.
So
And
I will say my water consumption will increase because Mr. Mo found a way to put our little ice machine back on the counter. I don't like warm water, and I'm the only one that seems to be able to do the monumental task of not only taking ice cubes out of the tray, but then filling it with additional water and putting it back.
Yeah, I can see how that would be problematic.
Yeah, so I like ice water and I like cold drinks, and I about lost my gasket when, for the 80th time, I'd filled up 2 water trays, and no, they were both out on the counter and there was no ice, and I was just like, someone is going to go to the gas station, get me a bag of ice.
Yeah.
Stat.
Or there's going to be a child missing.
I was like, why? Why is it so hard to just put a little more water and put the ice cube tray back in? I don't get it. I mean,
Yeah.
being a kid, and the last thing I would think would be to fill up an ice tray.
Yeah,
So
of
I do
course.
try to get it, but it's still like, oh, for the love of God, how hard is it?
Yeah, like you understand, but it's like it's still like frustrating.
Still, you would think as a kid, like, you want to keep mom happy because mom always yells all the time about like ridiculous stuff. When
Yeah.
looking back at as an adult, you're like, damn, I was annoying. Like, I didn't pick up crap. No wonder my mom was crazy.
Yeah.
But you would think like, oh, mom likes ice. Like, ice seems to make mom happy. Refill
Yeah.
ice, happy mom. Happy mom. I get to do things that I'm usually not allowed to do.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping for profit loss analysis to sometime take effect.
Maybe as they get older, maybe they'll catch on to that
True.
thing. I'm not sure that they understand that whole profit loss thing just yet.
No. But logic would dictate happy mom has ice. Unhappy mom yells about ice tray.
You would think, but they're just not old enough yet, because as
To
someone
be
who
fair,
was
my
a
husband
young
wouldn't notice that the ice trays were out and needed to be.
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. As somebody who was a young man at one point in time in his life, we don't think about anything. Like, we're just kind of feral. There you go. Like, you call them
Well,
ferals.
yeah,
And so we don't
and
think about things.
little tip for all of us ladies, our children, our husbands are not mind readers. They don't do subtle. So, yeah, you just have to tell them,
Yeah.
like, hey, refill the ice thing.
Yeah. Tell me that there's something wrong, or tell me that you would like me to do something. Like, tell me. Like, I can
Yes.
accommodate that, but like, don't expect me to read your mind, because that's just not happening.
Hell, I can't even read my own mind and I live here. Mr. Mo's like, what you're thinking? I'm like, that's a dangerous thing to ask because about 9 billion things. What about you? He's like, nothing. Just watching this movie. I'm like, how does one just watch a movie?
Yeah, yeah.
At
I
least
struggle
he's
with that.
to accommodate my random side things like this is dumb. How the hell do you walk into a haunted house and think, yeah, this is going to be a good idea? Sure, split up. This will be great. He's like, could you just watch the movie? I was like, no, it's okay. Except for the movies like, uh, what is it? Mad Max Fury Road. See, I was disgruntled the whole movie because I was trying to find a plot. And when he realized he just told me, no, pretty colors, loud noises, and bangs. And I was like, okay, this movie now makes sense. Because
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out the weird guy with like the fat growths and all the women being milked. And apparently that was just not what I was supposed to be paying attention to.
But this goes back to like, I know that we talked about this before, like the movie Commando with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Right? So that movie makes no sense at all, but it's like
No.
guns, explosions, and people dying in hilarious ways. Like, I can still tell you that there was a guy who I remember that he got shot, and he's standing on a rooftop, right? And he has his like feet together, and he kind of pirouettes a few times and then falls off. It's hilarious. Like,
just like in real life. Just
Yeah.
like, oh my God, we need that clip because that's exactly what happened to John O'Keefe. He got hit, he pirouetted a couple times, closed his Facebook down on his iPhone, and then died.
Yeah, like it's mindless. Like it's stuff like that where it's like it's escapism, where like
Yeah.
everything now has like it has supposed to be some like super diluted plot that makes no damn sense anyway. Or it's like you're asking me to suspend disbelief that I'm just incapable of doing like 115-pound woman like fighting some 250-pound dude and winning. Like I can't suspend that disbelief unless she
No,
has
or the fact that when
powers.
she's attacked by 5 men, they all wait their turn.
Yeah. It's like if said character had like superpowers or something, I'm like, cool, I
Yeah.
could believe that. But if you're just wanting me to believe this in an action movie or something, like I just can't suspend that disbelief.
No,
Like
although I will say, if you're a woman, you have been tempted to see if a stiletto hit would actually do that atomic blonde thing. Or at least, okay, I just speak for me as a woman, not every woman.
To be fair, I'm sure most women have probably thought about that. Like,
Oh
could
my
I
God.
actually do that?
Let's hear Lori repeat this compound quadruple question.
Yeah.
Did you see with your eyes or hear with your ears or personally witness me conspire with my brother, Alex Cox, to murder my husband, Charles Vallow?
No.
To which I would say, I don't know, but I saw you sneak into a bedroom alone. So, I mean, draw your own conclusion, jury.
Were you conspiring or were you
I mean, incest or murder, I'm going to go with murder with that one. Like, okay, you caught me.
because it's the less vile of the two,
Yeah.
which is kind of gross.
Thank you. No more questions.
Yeah. No more questions.
Redirects?
The attorney's like, what the hell am I supposed to redirect from? Did you have the enchiladas or not, sir? Answer the question.
Have you talked to your sister since Charles was shot and killed?
No.
So since that happened, you cut off all communications with her?
Yes.
That's what what is this lawyer's problem? This is the part of lawyering that I don't get. Like when you ask the obvious question, then you follow up with the next most obvious question.
Well, Mo, we have
I
seen
know
some
you
juries in the past years, right? Well,
Yeah.
some of those juries kind of need these things spelled out for them like this.
Yes,
'Cause-
you're right. Never mind.
They're not all,
I take
they're
it
not
back.
all our peers, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. And this is Maricopa County. The county's responsible for getting, election results by February.
Yeah.
Prior to that, you were being asked about 2018 being at Lori and Charles's house. Was that the time where Lori told you she was becoming a celestial being?
Yes.
And the time where she
A follow-up question. What the hell is a celestial being? I would think that would be the follow-up question, not so where do you remember the enchilada?
Yeah, like okay, so serious question, Mo. All right, so
Yes.
if your sibling told you that they were a celestial being, wouldn't you have some additional questions?
I would. Like, so do I also get celestial powers and can I choose water into wine?
Yeah, like
Also,
is it,
does this mean when they say he without sin should throw the first stone, do I get to pick up a rock now? Like, how far does this holiness extend to me?
yeah, and is it hereditary?
And is it transitory or can you transmit it to me? Like, can I also, by the links in our DNA, also attain holiness, but
Yes.
without joining your cult? Like, it's just DNA baked into me. Like, you're the avatar. I could also be the avatar. Like,
Yeah.
where
Can-
are we going with this?
Can you transmit it to me somehow without me sleeping with a sibling? Can you do
Also,
that?
if it's not, transferable, could you possibly talk to the IRS for me and have them forget I exist? Also, like take care of all those phone calls about my car's extended warranty. Maybe let me know when I'm gonna have a flare-up day. Like that would be awesome.
Yeah. Like, give me a heads
Make my
up.
boobs back when I was 18 and a six pack, just asking for a friend. I mean, just how far does this celestial or are these like just you powers?
Yeah. There's lots of
She was
questions I
telling
would
you
have.
other ideas that were not in line with the LDS faith.
Yes.
After you had heard those statements by your sister, you told us that she had asked you if you thought she was crazy, right?
Yes.
And you
And you said yes? No,
Yes.
this is not time to sugarcoat things like, Heifer, you are crazy. I am taking you to the nearest, hospital with a hug jacket. I mean, that would
Yeah.
probably be what I said if I learned I wasn't going to get superpowers too.
Yeah.
Like, it's not crazy if both of us hear God. So what are
Yeah.
my superpowers?
What did I get?
Yeah. Also, I'm not going to date you.
Yeah.
had responded back how?
I don't know if you're crazy, but what you're telling me is not true.
After you told her that her beliefs were not true, did that sort of end your talking with her?
Yes.
You were asked if you personally,
To which I would have further responded, if I say I don't believe you, can I be done with this testimony too? Hey, it worked once. I would try it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
saw, heard your sister Lori conspire to kill Charles. Were you there that morning?
No.
Were you the person who was supposed to, though, be with Alex on the 10th into the morning of the 11th? You spent the night with him?
If I would have spent the night with him, yes.
So that stood out to you.
Holy crap, how much weed is this lawyer on?
Oh my God.
I
Like,
must be
yeah.
I must be used to the Boston, New England sort of as abrasive as it is, we're talking at least in normal human pace versus so um so when you weren't supposed to be there and Alex was there, I'm like, today, Junior.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I have a lot of questions, but I will refrain as to like, why were these grown men having a slumber party? Like, I don't.
Well,
Like,
I
I
think
need
he
some
was supposed to
context.
be so
Mm.
I haven't watched the trial, but I think Charles had gotten to the point where he didn't trust Lori or
Yeah.
Alex, and he was very worried. So he reached out to the sane brother, and the sane brother basically said, I'll keep Alex busy. You go lock up, Mo, or not Mo, Lori. I read Mo. This is the second thing. So I was trying to read this message, and I said the first word.
There's a Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
You're trying
Well,
to lock me up.
I mean, a place where they cook for me and I don't have to worry about sharp objects and I get to do arts and crafts. I mean, the only downside is you have to talk about your feelings too.
Yeah. It's like I understand that there's like that's what you just said. That is the actual background. But like in this, unless she covered this prior, like, because I know we kind of jumped in like to
Yeah.
the direct like first or cross whatever it was, but like I need some context for this. Like if this is just being introduced now, I'm like, why are these dudes having a slumber party? Like I you
So
know what I mean? Like it just
that's
doesn't
what I
make
think
sense.
that he was trying to keep Alex away so Charles could go get JJ, take him to school, give some of his parent time without having to worry about both Lori and Alex,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
I,
And I
I
think it was brought up on direct. She just, good Lord, I didn't realize how long she took. This Petty Express run through this is going to be at 1.25 speed.
yeah.
But I think we have sufficiently heard about Lori's fabulous enchiladas, and just her entire questioning was the weirdest thing I've ever heard. And I've heard Sarah Boone try to explain how she only lightly tapped her, fun-sized boyfriend with a bat because she was terrified of him.
Yeah, I've heard some zingers from court cases, but this is up there with some
Well, it's
explanations.
yeah. It's just like, what were you doing? Well, have you talked to me? Do you remember my enchiladas? Like, what in the name of all that is unholy is going on here? No, no one cares about your enchiladas, ma'am. No. Like, of all the things I remember about you, enchiladas have never been ever on them.
Yeah, exactly. It's just very strange.
I am going to send you guys over to Texas severe weather threat. For some reason, okay, I'm going to confess that I have shamefully become addicted to K-dramas on YouTube. They're essentially the same damn story 84,000 bajillion times. Not to mention their special effects are, I believe, screensavers from 1994.
Nice.
So very awesome, incredibly cheesy, but I like that. And then Mayday air disasters. Okay, here's why I like Mayday air disasters. I don't like that people crash and people die. That's awful. But at the end of the episode, they freaking figure out what went wrong and they stop it from happening again.
Oh, okay. So there's a semi-happy ending.
Yeah, I just like that they find and fix the problem. Like nothing else, no other government agency actually works like, the NTSB, where they find a problem, they figure it out, and then they make sure that problem doesn't happen again.
Yeah. That's interesting. So when you said I don't even remember the channel you said that we were going to, but I was like, ooh, weather.
Yeah.
Because
Although we
I'm a huge weather nerd.
Yeah, I'm a weather nerd too, and I will tell you that I don't know about you, but if I were ever given a bucket list thing, I would definitely want to. What is the name of the car that the Dominator?
Yeah.
I'd want to drive the Dominator into like an F3. I'm not gonna lie. Bucket list, I'd probably be yelling curse words, tapestry of elegance throughout the land, and possibly peeing myself a little, but that would be the funnest damn thing ever.
Yeah, it would be interesting. Like,
But I'd have to deal with that annoying guy who drives it actually.
there's that. I mean,
There is
yeah.
that.
But unless you somehow got lucky and you could just take it out for, a quick spin.
Yeah, but I don't know like the scienceology of where to find the actual, tornado. I'd need like a computer chick or dude, and then I'd want someone else to drive for me so I could just sit in the little like, like what is it, the captain's chair that spins all around. Like I don't want to be in charge of anything. I just want to go in there and like be the token weirdo that they take in to get their, reaction to it.
Yeah. It it
I
reminds
have
me of
not, but I will
something.
write that down.
It reminds me of something, but it's like it's very race car-ish stuff, so I will refrain from that. Where it's like, yeah.
Well,
But
it
yeah.
sucks because I used to like, I know there's a storm coming in because both my legs are like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
And I used to love storms. Like I'd love to sit out and watch them, and now they're just painful So I think being able to drive the Dominator into, an F3 would help me, at least for that moment.
Yeah. Ride the lightning, as they say.
I'd probably need to be writing something because I'm also like the mom nervous Nelly too. So I'd be like, okay, we're getting a little close. You guys, is this covered with insurance? Like, do you have annuities? Do you guys have life insurance? Like, you're leaving your family? Do you have stuff? Be talking to them about AARP. Be like, okay, I adopt you all. You can come to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I will be probably when Karen Reed ends, I'll be moving to a more summer schedule. So we'll be doing about, 2 or 3 hours of the Petty Express in the morning after Mornings with Mo. And then I will be hanging out with the Ferrells this summer. So Karen Reed could not end soon enough for me. I know people are dead into it, but it's been 4 weeks and we're just barely learning how the man died. I am so over that. It's not that. It's just, it's more that we've already seen this trial before. So I kind of already know where the state's shading things. And it's that people are like entrenched in this.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of watching it like it's a trial. So it is interesting to see how entrenched and like spiteful people are getting over a trial.
Yeah. No, I've seen that too. It's kind of wild. Really, it is. It's like, yeah.
I mean, you'd think this is OJ 2.0 without some of the connotations, but the way we're treating it.
Yeah.
Although, where is Kato Kalin now?
That is a good
I wonder if he
question.
has a YouTube channel. The Kato Show.
Yeah. That,
Where is Judge Ito?
I believe
Is he alive?
I don't know if he is actually.
I do know Marsha Clark is still alive because I think she tried to Nancy Grace her career,
Yeah, she did.
and
It didn't work.
well, I mean, let's be real. There can 2 Nancy Graces. It's kind of a world I don't want to think about.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if we have to live in the Matrix, only one Nancy Grace.
I remembered the OJ trial distinctly because I was in like 8th grade. And I remember where I was when the verdict came out, and I was in school.
Yeah, our teachers spazzed out about it. They're like, he's innocent. And I was the only like 8th grader that was like, but they factually proved he did it. Like, what went on? I was like, DNA.
Yeah. And I remember running, and I was the exact opposite. I remember literally running through the halls of the school going, the juice is loose. The juice is loose.
And I was over here sitting like, Marcia did a good job. Like, did you see that perm? She had a great perm.
Oh God, yeah, the perm
Oh
controversy.
God, please. Yeah, can women, I know that we are trying like hell to keep the 90s, early 90s from coming back. But I beg you all to not try. Let's just say no to perms.
Yeah. I would second
We've
that
come
motion.
a long way. Let's just say no.
Yeah.
Someone
Especially how
passes you a perm box, you just say no.
Yeah. Yeah. Too funny.
Well, I hope you have a great weekend. If you are in storm-related areas, please keep an eye out. Listen to the very smart meteorologist who we did learn through the Karen Reed trial. Meteorology was shortened down from hydrometeorology.
What?
Yeah, apparently when meteorologic studies started, it was called hydrometeorologic studies because it's the study of water and how it moves.
Okay. But it's not always water. Which is
Believe
probably
me,
why they shortened it to meteorology.
Believe me, this weatherologist said there was enough snow to track a cat. That was his measurement. Now, I don't know why you're tracking a cat. I have some
Yeah.
questions.
How big is the cat? Like, is it like a house cat? Is it like a
Yeah, it
mountain
wasn't
lion?
defined, but I assumed it was a house cat or at least a domesticated cat.
Maybe you could throw in the snow is deep enough to track Fluffy, or like the mountain lion or lion, like, because that would be different depths, right? Because they're different.
Yeah. Well, I guess he just meant that there was enough snow that if a cat walked by, you would be able to tell. But he said it like it was a common turn of phrase. And
Yeah,
maybe it
that's
is in
weird.
New England, but I have never had meteorological cat, phraseology. Like
Yeah,
it's
that is
wet
a
as a
little
cat
weird.
outside.
Yeah,
It's
I mean, I've heard some things, and
well,
I
raining
probably
cats and
shouldn't.
dogs.
Yeah, like I've
But
heard some sayings and stuff that I'm not sure that I can repeat here that have to do
yeah,
about cold and stuff. But it's
yeah,
like,
witches,
yeah,
anatomies,
which is, yeah, and well, uh,
diggers,
yeah,
butts, and
yeah, exactly.
although, yeah, that's how do you get out of the well after you dig it? I never.
I assume
Do
there's
they
like
hand you down a ladder, or are you just stuck there?
a pulley system, I would assume, because you have to have a pulley system. I mean, back in the day, you'd have to have a pulley system to get the water bucket down, to pull the water out. You'd have to have something in place already. But
I'm
then,
gonna go
but
have to
how do you,
research that.
but how do you know how cold that person's butt is to make a saying out of it? Like, did you just
I-
shove a finger up and test? Like, I have questions.
Like, how cold are you, Cletus? Well, my
Yeah.
ass is freezing. I'm doing okay though. Like, how cold would you say it is? Well, below freezing.
Exactly. It's like, I have questions where our sayings come from. I do.
Like, how many witches before Spanish Inquisition did you check nurples and make sure like these are really cold. She's a witch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, does she have cold boobular area and red hair? Definitely a witch.
We don't even have to see if she can swim. Cold boobs. Out you go.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll get nice and warm on the pyre, ma'am. Don't worry about it.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Fractured history will be next weekend.
Yes. The breakdown of
How-
our weird sayings.
Yes. Have a great weekend. Remember, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire because Lori Vallow's out there somewhere. That should scare all of us. Probably trying to make more enchiladas. Just terrifying all of us. Praise be to Pepto-Bismol.